happy Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness, yay, it's Thanksgiving. Fun, fun, fun. I have a fundamental question for you. Why do we frequently, kind of traditionally, we do turkeys, right? We make turkeys at Thanksgiving. I just have a problem with that because I think turkeys are some of the hardest things to cook. Why do we pick one of the hardest things to cook, right? Turkey breast dries out, the thighs not done, I've had all kinds of disasters with turkeys. Why do I have to cook a turkey for like this giant celebration with the most people? The hardest thing to cook for the most people. I don't know. That's just something that I struggle with. Maybe you've already got that baby nailed and you have a different answer. So you could answer that question for me right now. What's your favorite food to eat at Thanksgiving? Usually I ask you that at the end, but we'll start here at the beginning. And we're going to continue our series. Of course, I want you to subscribe, right? Please do that. But we're going to continue our series called Launching Pads, Opportunities and Launching Pads. Opportunity launching pads in your life. So we talked in our first episode about ignorance. I don't know what to do. And the lack of wisdom is a launching pad for God to step in. Last week we talked about hurt being a launching pad for healing. And this week, I think it goes well with Thanksgiving. I want us to consider that the deficiencies, areas in our life where we lack. And that can be lacking money. And I really want to kind of drill into that. Lacking provision, lacking sustenance. Those are places where God can step in. It's a launching pad for God to provide. And so I'm thinking about this in relation to Jesus. And one of the first miracles that Jesus ever did, the very first one really, was a launching pad. It was lack. So in John chapter 4, you read about, I think along in 3 and 4, 5 along in there, you read about Jesus attending a wedding feast at Cana of Galilee, and his mom comes to him and says, hey, they've run out of wine. So there's a lack. They're having this big party, and they don't have enough, they don't have enough provisions. They don't have enough wine, and that's a really big deal in this culture at that time. You need to be able to host and accommodate and make your guests at a wedding feast. I mean, seriously, you don't run out of stuff at a wedding feast. That's just inappropriate and unhospitable. It's unbelievable that somebody would fail to plan that well. And when his mom talks to him, he's like, hey, my time isn't yet come, woman. That's what he says to her. And she goes and tells the servants, whatever he tells you to do, do it. So Jesus steps in and into the place of lack. So a lot of times, at Thanksgiving, I don't know about you, but sometimes we've had this tradition in our family where we go around the table and we say what we're thankful for, what we're thankful for. And a lot of times you think about, well, what am I thankful for? And sometimes it triggers, well, I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't, I wish I had, I washed my AirPods or my little headphones in the laundry. Now I don't have that. Sometimes those things we're thankful for trigger recollections or experiences of where we have deficiency, where there's lack. But I want us to appreciate that where there is a lack in our lives, actually that can be a launching pad for God's provision. It can be a hardship and a struggle and difficulty, and it can be adversity and fiery and very, very difficult to navigate. But when we invite Jesus into that space of lack, then it can become a launching pad for God's provision. And I see this time and time and time again. I see this at the wedding feast of Cana. I just talked about it. There's a lack of wine. The mom steps in. Hey, whatever he tells you to do it. Tell the servants. So Jesus tells the servants, fill all the water pots. These are huge, 20 to 30 gallons each. Fill them all with water. And then take some of that from the water pot and serve it to the master of the feast, the master ceremony. And the servants do that. And if I was in that servant's sandals, I think I'd be kind of like a little bit queasy, kind of shaky, like, we just poured water, and now I'm going to take this cup and bring it to the master of ceremony. I could get fired, I could get dismissed, I could get at least made fun of. I'm going to give him water, But he does it. He follows what Jesus says. He knows there's a lack, but he's obedient to what Jesus says. And by doing that, it's the launching pad for a massive provision miracle. And I appreciate that what Jesus does in this miracle, it's not only that he provides massive quantity, but he also does a miraculous quality. Because when the master of the feast tastes the wine, he's astounded. And he says, oh my goodness, you guys have saved the best for last. Because normally at our parties here, we give people the best wine at the beginning. And after they get a little bit less aware from the wine, then we give them the cheap wine. So they can't really, their abilities to taste and have been, kind of deadened or lessened a little bit. But the master of the ceremony says, oh my goodness. And he doesn't know it's Jesus, but we know. We know exactly because Jesus stepped into that lack and it was a launching pad for provision of not only quantity, but also quality. So I just encourage you, whatever the areas of lack in your life, we can be discouraged and bemoan and talk and magnify and really be despondent with lack. Or you might be thinking, I'm coming into Christmas. I don't have enough money to pay for Christmas presents. I got all these bills, I lost my job. I got 2-3 jobs. I lack energy, right? All those lacks, let's bring those to Jesus. And let's say, Jesus, I need you to turn this into a launching pad for your provision. I don't know how you can do this, how you can provide finances, how you can provide wisdom, how you can provide energy, how you can provide strength for me. But let this be the launching pad, Jesus, for your provisions. Abundance in both quantity and quality. I love that when we invite Jesus into our lack, he becomes our proficiency and our provision. So thank you so much for subscribing. Of course, hit the notification bell right there. I already told you the question at the beginning, so you need to kind of think about that and answer to that. And this is a really, really great joke. Seriously, when I practiced this ahead of time, I was laughing a boatload. So this is a joke. This husband gave his wife, accidentally, a glue stick instead of lipstick. And now she's not talking to him. Glue stick. I like that. Lipstick, right? Get it? Like her lips were zipped. Catch you next week.